Go chat. Let's go to chat too.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Hopefully now. What in the world? I don't know why.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I don't know why all this changes all the time on us.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Oh. Yeah. There we go.
Can you hear us?
I think they can because it come across that on you.
Oh, yay.
Woo!
Okay, Lori says, and Sean, Let's Trade Paint says they can hear us.
Thank
Sweet.
you.
Why don't you just start your little shindig all over your welcome in, everybody?
First off, I'd still like to figure out why every time we shut this thing down that it just goes to a default reset for some reason. And it doesn't stay where we have it set in settings. But we will go on back to the beginning of this shit show that we got going on right now because got all jacked up, just throws all of us off. Excuse my French, but I went through this whole spill.
You did.
This whole grand entrance.
That was probably one of your best, most happiest entrances.
But I was like,
sorry.
Howdy, folks. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Pretty and Pooch show on a fine Wednesday night. Hope you folks are having a good one. And tonight's show, as every Pretty and Pooch live show, is brought to you by the Pretty and Pooch official sponsor, but yet unofficial.
It's unofficial.
Sponsor. It's mine and your sponsor. I think Pretty Pooch is sponsoring HTeaO more than anything because we drink the crap out of this stuff. HTeaO. And I got the Texas chai because they've quit selling my root beer.
No, you got coconut
or cotton candy. Yeah. Baby's got the Texas chai, but they quit selling my root beer. But you're talking about premium water and ice. HTeaO. That's HTeaO 2009, Texas born. It's good stuff too. So hashtag HTeaO. And yeah, like I said in my opening monologue that everybody missed because Pretty told me I need to go to corporate and do a bunch of glad handing and see if we can't get us a sponsorship here.
I don't believe I said that you need to go to corporate. I did say though that you might want to go talk to somebody.
Well,
go to Burleson.
Well, Burleson's just a little peon store. We need to go to the top. We need to get in the headquarters and
start at the top.
Start just walking there like we spend thousands of dollars and
pretty much do.
And people see us and our glass of tea on our show here. And so, yeah, they need to reciprocate the advertisement we're giving them and help Pretty and Pooch out a little bit. Maybe throw us a gallon or two a week into the fridge for us or something, huh?
Yeah, that's
be happy with that, huh?
That's very nice.
Yeah, just cost them much, huh?
Yeah.
What's a gallon or two of tea?
Right.
And a bag of ice to go with it. And we can keep our cup. A matter of fact, we probably go buy. They have those permanent cups, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sell all kinds of different.
We need to go get us some of those.
But before we lose everybody, let's go in and say hello to everyone.
Thank y'all for bearing with us too on the mishap. Again, I'd like to know why. Just because we shut this thing down and come back to it later, it always seems to go to some kind of default. But
I don't know. Maybe you need to go with them classes they're having at the up and coming
Mid-America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Let's greet some peeps that are here right now. Marianne Bimler, she was here this morning at 11:24 a.m. Marianne, she was first. LaDonna Kickapoo Crafty Cat is here.
Welcome in, ma'am.
Josh Sherman's Family Farm is here.
I was going to say, me and LaDonna had us a nice, pleasant talk earlier today.
Oh,
sure
that's
enjoyed
nice.
those. Yep.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, get to sit and talk, chat a little bit earlier today and enjoy it. And I'm sure I hope she enjoys it, but I'm about to put words in your mouth, Donna, because you could probably say that Igmo Pooch. You should be working instead of jacking your jaw on the phone.
You're so funny. Who else is here? Mark with Little Ridge Farm.
Howdy, Mark.
And Piggy. Piggy is in the house.
Hey, there's Piggy.
We love you, Piggy.
Sure do. We love you all. I got to get a pinch calm down.
Yeah, something. Kevin with Hiking with Jackie Boy is here.
Hiking with Jackie Boy. Howdy, Kevin.
Let's see here. I may have said hi to Sean. Let's trade paint.
Sean,
I can't remember.
Let's trade paint.
Maybe we were on mute.
We probably were.
Yeah. So hi to everybody.
Hi to Sean. Sharpens Farms.
Justin, Backroad Freedom is here. There's my boy.
Justin. Yeah. Backroad Freedom.
And Brian, Vineyard Farmhouse is here.
Hi to Brian.
Brian. Who else? We might have lost everybody.
Yeah. From the shenanigans that was taking place in the beginning.
Yes. Lori Carp is here.
Hey, Lori, the rigmarole. People think, what kind of outfit is Pretty and Pooch? The shenanigans and
Simply Jan is here.
Hi, Simply Jan. Yeah.
Oh,
there always seems to be some kind of rigmarole going on when it's time for me and baby to get on. And I was out here 30 minutes early.
You were.
And got everything set up and run because I thought everything should be set right where it should be. Huh. At least we're not spending 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out what's going on. Go here, and baby got it back on. Because used to me and baby, I just clean the table and shut her down for the night. It's most of the time the action I'd resort to. You're a big, you know how when TV goes, signal goes dead and all the static and you hear that because the signal that's we know what Pooch did. He done slid his arm across the table, put everything in the floor.
Oh my goodness. Did you eat some sugar or something, babe, tonight?
Well, I had
Baby's in a good old mood. I'm glad. Makes me happy.
I had my my goulash I made.
Yes, that was really yummy.
And then I topped it off with I don't want to say how many brownies maybe, but
I opened that brownie little deal today because I thought I'd have one.
Was you thinking, this don't look like it's been fresh sealed? Something missing in here. And then,
yes.
And then you saw my oatmeal cookies too, didn't you? You noticed the front tray was already missing all of them.
Is it? Oh my gosh. Dot Roper is here. Say hello to Dot. Oh my gosh, that is hysterical.
So I might be a tad bit overloaded on the sweets right now. And along with this sweet tea.
Oh my gosh. We're in trouble, people.
Cotton candy sweet tea.
Oh
too.
My Lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? It's funny too, because I went into work this morning. As soon as I walked in the hospital, I had a little pep in my step.
Oh, good.
And I walked up through the nurses' stations and of course, they all real good about saying good morning and all of that to me. And I'm like, yeah, I feel pretty. Of course, there's one of them because it was Wednesday. There's one of them that she does all the time when she sees me on Wednesday. And you know what that is, probably.
Brings
Mike.
Oh.
You know what day it is?
Really?
So, yeah. And so I always have to go, yee. But that's when I realized that I think I had a little bit of pep in my step today. So it probably kicked in long this morning. Maybe when I rolled out of bed and my feet hit the floor. I think it's when.
Why? Why you got so much?
I don't know. I'm just feeling good for some reason.
I'm glad. Yeah,
feeling
good.
That's usually a sign though when you're feeling pretty good. Usually, if you're feeling good, something's going to happen.
Okay, well, something good is going to happen. We're not going to claim it.
Yeah, I'm wound up like an 8-day clock.
Oh my gosh. Heather is here. Heather Landskren is here.
25/8/366.
Kelly with Rebel at Heart is here.
Howdy, folks. Kelly.
Wound up tight.
Yeah, wound up like an 8-day clock.
Oh man. Okay, everybody's saying hi to everybody. Yep. JB is here, Pure Okie.
Hey JB, and man, I know we're getting excited about what's coming up in a couple weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Wanting to say,
hey, yeehaw, I'm ready. Come on, can you hear me?
I want to push buttons and play with stuff, but now all of a sudden, only bad thing is we figured out for some reason wasn't working on baby side. So
Yeah, so it's not working on baby side. You don't get to play.
yeah, because we could
Beth and Neil are here. BNUS Odyssey.
being us Odyssey.
Beth
and Neil.
BNUS Odyssey. Sorry. John Wiggs is here.
John Wiggs.
He says, "Hey, pretty and stinky." That's right. That is
Stinky.
right.
I showered this morning.
I showered too.
I ain't showered yet, but I did this morning. Me and baby go through that routine quite often. Stinky butt. And then our dog has to get in there and throw his 2 cents in all the time too, because he's usually the one to call when there's some sort of a gut wrench going on and that somebody's funking in the funk area or whatever.
I don't even know what to say. Simply Jen said that you need a sponsorship, Mike.
I do. HTeaO.
Oh, my stomach. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Shower situation. All right. Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, we go through that routine with the shower and stuff because me and baby, we got a little game we like to play sometimes. You want to tell them about our game, babe?
No. I don't think anybody wants to know anything about your poor hygiene.
No,
Okay,
I'm not the
here.
one that's always trying to say I'm going to ink out another day or two. Don't try to ink out just one more day.
Thank you, Justin. Justin shared my back road. Speaking of my show, my gosh, these people do not want to hear this crap.
What?
Beth is here.
Beth
Speaking
Cornett?
of, yes. Brian says, "Hey there." Did we say hi to Brian already?
Brian Vineyard Farm House?
Mhm.
Yes, I think we did. But howdy, Brian.
Ooh, my stomach hurts.
Baby's done got me off track.
Evelyn Newman is here.
Hi, Evelyn.
Have you off track?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my stomach. Okay. I think that is pretty much everybody, but thank you, Justin, for sharing out the link to my show. I have to give a thanks to Ken with Lone Cowboy Adventures. He was on Monday night. So if you didn't get a chance to hear his story, man, it was amazing.
Oh, it was.
He really opened up and shared a lot. And, I had the pleasure of getting to chat with him before we actually obviously went live on Monday. I chatted with him on Friday evening.
Mhm.
And he, everybody has been through something.
Oh, yes.
And Ken sure did open up, and he did share, I think, a lot that's going to help a lot of people, adults and youngsters that, may hear or either listen to or watch the show when it comes to children that blame themselves for adults. And
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why as children, we put that big responsibility on ourselves, that we blame ourselves for something decisions that adults make.
Yeah, especially when you're the child. And,
Yeah.
I mean, not fortunate for me that I was pretty much an adult when my mother and father divorced. But, I was at the age to where I was actually about to leave the home. So, and I hate to not sound like I'm bragging because I'm not or anything, but I was fortunate enough to grow up in a good home and a good raising and just perfect. I'm pretty much perfect until I was 17 and my parents divorced. But, I didn't have that thought of blaming me or anything like that, but I feel sorry for those. And I know that folks do blame them, especially children, young children, when they're faced with that and their parents go separate ways. And can't imagine that along with just the upbringing that you may have. And, like my mother was kind of bounced around through her family when she was growing up. So, and it's a sad, hurtful thing, but And
It
I can't
is.
imagine the feelings that, and everybody has different feelings and different ways of coping and dealing with those things. And it breaks my heart, and I hope not only does it help other folks from folks that share that story, but I hope that it helps the person talking about that story too.
Well, I know it did help Ken. He, I like to check on people, and so I checked on Ken because I know that was a lot.
That was a lot.
And yeah, so but he said he was feeling good.
Good.
That he rested and that he rewatched the live and he cried and he rewatched so that he could see everybody's comments. So if you were there, he went back and watched it to read your comments.
Good.
And I did as well. And I appreciate your support and your love and really helping Ken make it through that, because it was he said before we went on the air that he was very nervous about sharing, but he did such a great job. So
Yeah.
I'm proud of him. But again, if you haven't had a chance to go watch it, you might want to go watch Ken. My interview with Ken. Let's see here. Square County Homestead is here.
Hey,
they
Square
said, "Hey,
County,
y'all.
howdy. Welcome in."
And let's see here. But Empty Homestead is here.
Mike and Terry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the folks that have been on your show, Pretty, has really touched other folks' hearts, I'm sure, and just hearing those stories. I mean, I've been on it and shared my story, and probably could do it again sometime. But I know I was nervous, and it's just amazing how it brings that. Baby's just got a way of bringing that peace over people when they're speaking and telling that story. I think their story. So, because they do come to you and are able to speak.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Yeah, it's my Pretty.
Yeah. Rick Giovannucci is here. He says,
Rick.
"Hello, Pretty and Pooch."
Howdy, howdy.
And My Peaceful Mountain Life. Say hi, y'all. Tish and Pooch.
Welcome in.
Love that. I love your logo and see that
Evelyn.
I think so. Evelyn Newman. My Peaceful Mountain Life.
Might be. I've always seen her by her name.
I know, but I believe she was working on a logo, and I believe so. I love that. I love that. I love it. And
moderators that are in here, feel free to post channel links and all.
Yes, and they are. They're doing a great job.
Good.
We love y'all.
Thank you.
And so grateful. Heather Landskren is here. She says, "I'm still here. My wrist is still sore from the sprained Monday and Tuesday evening."
Poor Heather. What in the world?
Yeah.
She's a great moderator too.
She is. So what are your thoughts? This is just a random question just because the way that my brain works. Sean said, "You're all sugared up and no place to go." We might be a little behind. We actually are behind. Dang it.
Oh, wow.
What are your thoughts on divorce? I know it's changed throughout the years, and I know there's many reasons for it. I don't know if you, I don't know this. Like I said, this is kind of just something that hit my head. I don't know if you want to speak on your feelings of
divorce in general, or
divorce in general. Maybe, so let me say this, like your parents, and you were older, but your parents got a divorce. And did you see it coming?
Oh yeah, I saw it coming.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually told my brother that what was about to go down before they ever told us.
Really?
I mean, just because, well, of course, I was 17 years old, and in passing would hear their conversations, and just you could see the change in the dynamic of mom and dad. So I sensed something was going on, and I still didn't pay that much of attention to what they were doing or nothing, but I mean, there was no fighting or nothing like that going on in the home. So
then how did you, because
just the demeanor between them.
Wow.
Because again, I grew up in a close, loving home. around the whole family, both families outside of our home. So
Stop it, E.
but yeah, it's just, you could sense, and I sensed there was a change between their relation actions and also. But I mean, it wasn't like it was shocking to me either. Of course, again, I was at the age where I was on the way out and I was ready to go live my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is Evelyn. That is Evelyn
okay.
Newman. She says, "Hi, Justin. This is Evelyn. This is my new channel. That's my peaceful mountain
That's right.
life."
I remember her asking now about pictures
Remember?
and stuff, that her picture logos.
It looks really good, Evelyn. I love it. Okay, we are behind. Piggy says, Tish, you need to make him go outside and run a couple of 100 laps around the yard and run that sugar out of him.
No, I ain't running nothing.
Oh, man. Yeah, too much sugar is everybody's like.
But I do feel pretty fired up for some reason.
John Wick says, pretty and stinky together, y'all are known as pretty stinky.
There we go. Yeah. We'll change that, put pretty and hey, that would
pretty
be kind of good. Yeah, pretty sneaky.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, Pooch, I do not want to know about such things. That's when you're talking about how you don't shower.
No, I'm not the one that's always trying to ink out another day or two.
Oh no, I swear.
No.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, now look what kind of can of worms baby opened up. We're going to go with Mid-American Meetup. People will be standing off from us.
Thanks to you. Simply Jan said Ken did a great job.
Hey,
yeah.
There's pretty and stinky. I mean, Pooch.
Old Man King Homestead is here.
Hey,
He
Peter.
says, good evening. Since I don't have high-speed data, I'm not getting video and audio, just chat.
Well, we're glad you're here. And I'm sure you can picture what's going on in this camp, Peter. It's a little bit comical, and hopefully you hear it in the laughter going on.
Rick's Giovannucci.
Yeah.
Did I say hi to Rick already?
I think so, but yeah, and Peter, I know I watched Peter, poor Peter. One of his chickens passed away, and I saw it on his video this morning. Rest in peace, Lucky. And I'm sorry, Peter, because I know it doesn't matter. I know you had some comments in there, folks, saying it's hard losing your pets. A pet's a pet, regardless. And I know that he hatched that chicken, and I think he had mentioned it was the only one that survived out of the hatch, and was just the one that greeted him every morning when he'd go outside. And things happen, and
I know
it's unfortunate,
still so
but
hard.
I'm sorry, Peter.
Yes.
And I hope your plans that are upcoming come to fruition, and you make the journey that you're about to embark on. So I hope so. Looking forward to seeing your adventure in that as well.
Sorry. MT Homestead says, pretty, you should change your channel name to TCN, Tish Just Crying Network, because everyone ends up crying on your show.
Hey, folks, and make note, I'm crying over here too. I'm usually setting off on the other side, but it gets to Pooch as well.
It does. It's very hard. Let's see. Paul with PSV Odyssey is here.
Howdy, Paul.
He says, good evening, Miss Pretty, and everybody's favorite friend, the Pooch.
That's
a
right.
Man that quit school in the 3rd grade because they had recess and he don't play. Paul, those are so awesome.
I love that.
A man that quit school in the 3rd grade because they had recess and he don't play. That is greatness, Paul.
You need to pin those and send them to me in email so I could keep them and probably toss them on a shirt somewhere.
You are kidding. Oh my goodness. Okay, that is.
What's the matter, E?
Piggy says, Pooch's song, oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way.
That's right. Love that song.
I don't know
too.
about all that.
Yeah, I do.
Drew's Lens is here.
Howdy, Drew.
And so while I'm going through these, so what are your thoughts about divorce today? In terms of I feel like here I am asking you the question that I'm giving you my 2 cents. Let me ask you. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm bad about that. How do you feel about divorce?
Well, I mean, divorce, it's common. I think a lot of folks don't put the work in. And granted, I know there's all kinds of circumstances that could surround a divorce
Mhm.
for reasons that are unforgivable, maybe. But I feel like nowadays that a lot of folks get married either way too soon, way too early, without knowing the other person, and just don't know how to actually work on a relationship and to work through those things. I mean, because we both were raised in a Christian home where if you're married, you married for good, bad, the good, bad, ugly, sickness, health, all of that. And
No, stop.
but it doesn't fall on just one. It takes both.
Mhm.
I think it takes both folks to put the work in. And I know for you and I that Christ is at the center,
Mhm.
and that's a big part too. So, and that brings up some other news that I got to share in a bit.
Oh, yes.
And I'm
Hold on.
proud of this one.
Hold
But
on. Let me get to the bottom and then we can we're gonna go through it's big news,
it's
guys.
big news. But baby, you still need to express your thoughts on divorce too.
Oh, gotcha.
Don't leave everybody hanging. And
Well, I don't know that I have. I mean, my thoughts are as well. There are reasons that we don't know about. I mean, we don't know what happens behind closed doors when
Right.
someone decides to file for divorce. Like you said, there are many reasons. There could be abuse, which of course, you don't want to put your life in danger, and you definitely need to get out and be safe. I would say, aside from abuse, and that means mental, physical, any kind of abuse, you need to protect yourself and your children and do what you need to do
Yeah.
to do that. But I think when it comes to divorce these days, I think you're right. Even our parents, when we were younger, I think, and I shared with Ken that, I even as a kid, I was hoping my parents would get a divorce as a kid because, and I love my parents. I want to say that I love my parents so much. I'm speaking as a child, my feelings were, I wish that they would have gotten divorced because of the abuse that was going on in our family, and being beaten by my dad. And I don't blame my dad for anything. I've surpassed all that. I don't blame him for how I am. I don't blame anybody for anything. I take control of myself. And if I think a certain way because of the abuse, and I can self recognize that, then I know that I need to do work to change learned behaviors. So all that aside, and loving my mom and dad, I wanted them to get a divorce because I really, as a kid, couldn't take it. I was scared. I was hiding under my bed all the time, or hiding in the closet, or it was just, I was frightened every day. So I wished that my parents weren't together, but I'm glad that they stayed together too, because at the end towards my mom's time here on earth, my dad did quit drinking and he got sober. We were already out of the house, but the one thing I do know is that my dad loved my mom like no other. So even aside from us being abused, us children being abused, I did see that
the love he had for her.
Oh man, it was,
and I've heard the story, so
it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. But for these days, I think, this is my own opinion, this is just an opinion, that from what I see, from what I read, that people tend to throw in the towel. Maybe they do get married too young, and they don't really know the work that it takes to stay married. That love is a choice, I always tell my kiddos that when you're in a relationship in the beginning, everything is just so butterflies and, oh my goodness, can't wait till he or she comes to pick me up, or I can't wait to do this or go out of town. So exciting, and all that.
All the fun stuff
Yeah. And then all that
till the life
goes away, and then you choose to continue your relationship with that person. And seasons come and seasons go. And you and I have talked about how we're not the same people that we were when we first got married. We've changed. I mean, I think
we've changed. We've had life circumstances that changed, and all of that. And
yes. And we could have thrown in the towel because we didn't like the way that it changed each other. But we love each other. We choose to build on and continue on and grow on. But I feel like, and I didn't research the statistics, but I feel like people maybe throw the towel in a little too.
Oh yeah, little tiff, pride. You know, I'm not budging, and well, we all know how that is. So
yeah, so I think, get out of it if you have to, because if that's a choice that you make because you're being abused or whatnot, or manipulated or whatever. But maybe don't get married until you really.
Oh yeah, you're ready to put in the work.
Yes.
Because it's not just going to be hunky dory all the time.
It is not. I mean, you have to live with people that don't like to take baths. They
yeah,
don't
exactly.
like to bathe.
I just thinking, even the dog gripes at her.
They don't like to bathe.
I'm not the one that likes to.
Likes to say, you know what? I mowed.
Squeeze one more day in there.
I mowed, and I have all this grass and filth on me.
Granny beads.
Granny beads. I'm gonna wear my necklace to bed. So tell him your good news. You have some really great. It's so cool what he has to share.
Yep, I do. And this kind of goes back. It's coming back to one of my son's best friends, Ben's childhood best friend. Growed up together, did everything together, and I've stayed in touch with all of them pretty much, and they all check in on me. They all call me pops, and probably, well, it's been about 6-8 months ago that I got the news that his best friend Chase called me up and says, "Pops, I'm getting married." And I thought, I was like, and of course he's 28, 29 now, so I thought, dang, Chase, really? That's awesome, of course, and asked about the girl, and come to find out, I was the first person he called to tell him this news. But love this kid like he's my own son anyway. I mean, practically raised him, part of our family growing up and all. But anyway, they were out here, wanted to know and asked Tish and I if they could have their wedding out here at the land. We've had a wedding here once already from another young man that we know, but I was like, of course, you bet, come on out and have it. Well, so it's planned for September. So him and his girlfriend, which they've been out here sometime, but he brought his parents out here, Mike and Elizabeth, who I'm really good friends with too, because of the childhoods and growing up. But anyway, as we're standing here talking and they're going over what they're going to do, where and how and what, I heard Mike tell Chase, don't you have another question you need to ask him? And of course, Chase being Chase, looked at me and was like, yeah, I was going to see if you would officiate and do the honors of wedding Pam and I. And I looked around for a minute and I thought, first thing I thought of was our son Sonny. I was like, well, Tristan's ordained minister. And baby's like, he asked you. And so I was like, of course I would. What an honor that is in the first place. I've had a lot since Ben's passing. His friends are so good friends, good kids, that they have blessed me with a lot of things with their own lives. And not just like Hunter and their firstborn son, named after Ben. So that's greatness right there. But to be asked to marry Chase and Pam on their future wedding was a huge thing, at least for me. I was like, of course I would. So, of course, I had to go get myself ordained as a minister to perform this ceremony. And Pooch has done it. Pooch is now officially an ordained minister. I got all my stuff, my letter of goodwill, intent, and certificate, and all that stuff. So it's, see what I would almost want to say, here comes the judge, but it ain't. It's here comes the preacher. So
it took them all about 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was
and about $40 to be ordained. Yeah. So it's official. Pastor Ross is in the house.
Yep. Preacher Ross is in the house.
Marion Eastman is here.
Welcome in, ma'am. But Pooch is fully ordained to carry out this ceremony and then some. So if anybody needs to get hitched,
that's right.
Pooch.
If you decided when we're at 10 Killer that weekend, if you want to go ahead and just bring your a license, then Pooch
give me a heads up, so
sure
I'll know. But you know, that's pretty good. And which Pretty and I have done some premarital counseling with some folks too. So I'm almost tempted to put Chase and Pamela through something, even though while we were at dinner with them and I sat and asked them, I was like, now, y'all realize marriage is a commitment. I said, y'all ain't going to get married. Then a week, year or two later, decide, oh no, this ain't for us. I said, that's not what marriage is about. So
yeah,
I did throw that at them a little bit, and I'm sure I'm going to throw it at them again before it's all over with. But yeah, that's my exciting news. Now officially an ordained pastor,
ordained licensed marriage minister.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about I need to probably build my own pulpit and get me a new Bible and get me a pocket full of hankies, because Pooch will deliver the fire and brimstone and be having to wipe his brow probably. I'm hammering on the pulpit. I'm a Southern Baptist raised.
Thank you, LaDonna. LaDonna said it's good when I interview other YouTubers because we all get to know them that way. That's true. Well, congratulations, Pastor Pooch.
Thank you.
Pastor Pooch. Just call him Pastor Pooch. Piggies says it's way too easy to get one, and for too many getting married that just aren't ready for that kind of commitment.
Yeah,
that's true. That is very true, Piggy. It is too easy to just decide, you know what, I'm out, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Drew's Lynn says sanding Lindsay's truck bed, getting ready for the show. Ooh. Sorry if I missed anyone. I'm here listening.
Man, I may catch y'all out there for that, Drew. I need to make a show like that and go watch C10 truck show. That's where they're going to out there at Motorplex.
Yeah, nice.
Or not Motorplex, but up at the Speedway.
Cool.
Yeah.
Roberta's Artistic Adventures is here. She says, hello, Pretty and Pooch.
Hi, Roberta.
Welcome in. Here. And let's see here. If anybody wants to get married.
Yeah, I ain't kidding. Pooch can deliver a fine ceremony.
I can only imagine.
I sure will. I'll make it memorable, that's for sure.
I'm sure you would. Justin says he can't wait for the Mid-America meetup. We can't either. Wow, we are counting down the days.
It's coming soon, too. I'm looking forward to that a whole lot. Just being able to glad hand and see everybody and chit chat.
Oh.
Hey, what's baby thinking? Baby,
I don't know. That's what it sounded like.
Needing to go
maybe
shower?
He needs to go take a bath. Maybe I smell something. Okay, let's see. The ones that can't smell will still stand by you, Pooch. How do we get off on these subjects?
I don't know. We just find our way into those those zones and just roll with it.
JB says that she's going to be handing out cloth pins for anyone spending time with Pooch at the meetup.
All right.
Good. You're going to need them.
I'm trying to figure out how me and Pretty's going to set up our base camp. Are we going to be wandering around the whole time? Or are we going to have to set up shop somewhere and just watch?
Simply Jen said she was scared about the big news. Yes, Pastor Pooch is in the house.
I'm in the house.
Yeah. Freedom Redbird is here. Beth Cornett.
Welcome in, folks. Yeah, I wouldn't have even thought of that. So, but it's done deal now. So
it is. He's got
who in the
papers
world?
and everything.
I hadn't even told my dad yet.
You haven't?
No.
If he's listening, Dad, you have a pastor.
Yep.
Ordained minister, actually.
Yep.
So
I wonder if Pastor Rick let me deliver
Sunday
sermon at church one day.
Paul, you need to come up with something for that. Paul, PSV Odyssey. He's a pooch. Drew says he feels like Cinderella. Live with Tamara and David.
Hey, Tamara and David.
Here. And who else? Baby's got something from Baby got some mail.
I did. Well, we got it a little bit back, but I failed to bring it up. But we got a nice card.
They sure enough did, because we just opened that a couple of days ago.
And we don't look at our mail all the time anyway, so I'm not sure exactly when it come, but it did come. We got a nice card in the mail, and of course, it's from my beautiful friend LaDonna at Kickapoo Crafty. And well, I'll fold it back so the little note in there is not visible. But we got a pair of her stickers.
Those are so pretty.
They are.
I
Very
love
nice little
that.
stickers. She's got 2 of them there. Of course, I'm sure she'd ask some other folks which one y'all like better, but she sent us one of each. And I'm actually going to be making a shirt for her with her logo on it. I'm going to take with me and get to her.
Pretty. I love the colors.
I know, it's very nice. They're cool. I love the Kickapoo Crafty cat.
It's simple, but it's very colorful.
I love
just
the colors,
artistic. Yeah. It's beautiful. I love it. I
like both of them actually. So thank you, LaDonna. I appreciate all you do for Pretty and I.
You're so sweet. Let's see. Roberta's Artistic Adventure says, many marry for what they plan to get and take for themselves out of a marriage and relationship. Their focus is not on their partner, but on themselves, leaves them both unsatisfied. Wow, that is true. And you know what? I think that a lot of times, I mean, I know everybody has some sort of, well, I can't say everybody, but most everybody has some sort of maybe not trauma, but
baggage.
Yeah, mental health issues or needs, desires, and she's right. I think
visions of what the marriage is going to be, and that's something that really needs, as we've done with some other couples premarital, is try to put the whole picture in front of them. You know, raising children, faith, religion, family time, family ways, just all of it. Finances, you've got to go through all of it, and to at least have it in the front of your mind when you go into this relationship, and probably not just have it there, you need to keep it there. And
I really enjoy doing the premarital counseling, because I think as older people, as an older couple, when a young couple, and the couple that we counseled, you know, they're young, and you start asking questions that you could tell in their faces. They were like, they kind of looked at each other. And so it's not just a question to bring up and just ask for the fun of it. You really need to think about, like you said, the big picture.
Yeah.
Have you both discussed this? Do you want children? Does he or she know? Yes.
Who's the disciplinarian and
the discipline? Yeah, exactly. There's so much to marriage.
Yeah. And especially when you get into blended family as well.
Yes. You know? Yes. Let's see here. Justin said he was in 3 out of 7 weddings for his aunt. LOL. It's crazy. You know, I also think too, now that he said that, I also think that people, this is what I was saying, that people get married to to someone wherever they are at themselves. It almost kind of goes with Roberta as well. But like a lot of people who need something at the time, and maybe they do it, subconsciously. Maybe they don't know. I don't think that people obviously get married to get divorced, right? I don't think anybody does. But I think sometimes people may meet a person and they fulfill the one need that they are needing filled at the moment. And so they get into this relationship. Well, once that need is met, then you really start getting to know this person or what their needs are, and you're not willing or able to fulfill and meet their needs. And then it's like, well,
what's this worth now?
Yeah. So there's so much. There's so much. I would suggest anybody here of course, anybody here getting married or anything, but premarital counseling is the best.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
I think it's
even Pretty and I went through it before
we
got married. And I'm grateful that we were married in our church by our pastor too. So,
yep. And then we went to a class called Reengaged. It was a 17-week class just recently, last year.
Well, it's been a couple years.
Has it been a couple years?
Yeah. And we were asked to speak at one of the sessions.
But I think the thing that I like about Reengaged is that even as an older, longer married couple, that they prepare you to, okay, some of your homework is going to bring up some questions.
Oh, yeah.
That it's probably going to ruffle your feathers. Yeah. And, you want to, going in this, that it's going to do that. And so, that you are going to have to work with one another to get, and it did. There are a couple of times, that, but I'm glad because then it opens your eyes to maybe,
because
where your partner is, or why your partner is the way they are, or what their needs are, or it was really good.
It is really good.
See, Roberta says marriage is supposed to be all about giving, loving, supporting, sharing, believing in your partner to help them grow into who and what God created them for.
That's right.
That is
both
true.
parties.
Let's see. Life with Tamara and David had an emergency on the block. Neighbor lady went down walking her dog, was seizures, incoherent, took 30 minutes for medical to arrive. It took calling police. Wow.
Lord,
I'm
hope
so
they're okay.
Sorry. Me too.
Hope they are okay.
Goodness.
Been some crazy stuff happening in the world lately,
as
usual.
Okay. Yes. Tamara and David, I hope everything is okay. Let's see. Brian just sat down at his computer. Tell us what's coming up, babe. Who's coming on? What's coming up after us?
Well, of course, following us is Mike and Terry, MT Homestead. And I'm quite certain there'll be some updates regarding Mid-America Meetup. And then, of course, after Mike and Terry, MT Homestead, comes Brian of the Vineyard Farmhouse. And he's got Jeff Groovy Eggs. Jeff coming up, which that ought to be a good one. And I think Dogman's going to join you, Brian. And at least what I saw, he's going to try to get in there and argue with Jeff a little bit. But, but of course, we had 3 Mississippi that led up to us, and Mama V with Possum Run Homestead that kicked it all off. And I don't get to catch Mama V as often. I get to catch some of 3 Mississippi. It's just due to the time frame of getting home, and Pretty and I getting home and getting settled in and then set up for us. But usually we try to kick back and watch them as well. So we'll be in there to watch the after show. That's
right. Justin with Back Road Freedom says, I can't wait to see everyone at the meetup. If you see me, just come up to meet me. Just come up to me if you want.
Yeah. Exactly. Of course, Justin gets to come hang out with us the night before.
That'll be
which
fun.
will be fun. I'm looking forward to him coming and visiting us here at FBC at the Land with Pretty and Pooch.
Dot Roper says, I was married for 24 years and got divorced. I couldn't live with the cheating anymore. 3 strikes and you're out. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Woo, that's rough.
Yep. 3 strikes, you're out. Obviously, you went through the first two and tried to work through it, which was probably hard and difficult within itself. But
Marion says, I think there are not a lot of good models to show how to make it work for a lot of young people. So they all know. So all they know is divorce if it's not going their way. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. A lot of unfortunate, not very good role models.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I am way behind.
Way behind.
I am. My gosh. Everyone's saying Preacher Pooch. Dang it.
There we go.
I need to scooch. I need to hurry. Congratulations, Preacher Pooch.
I got to get me a shirt. Make me a shirt with that.
Brian with the Vineyard Farmhouse said, did you get a t-shirt when you were ordained?
No, but I'll make my own probably.
Lori Carp, super sweet. That's awesome, Pooch. And what an honor to be asked. That's true.
Oh, it was. I mean, that's those boys that pretty much raised along with their parents, of course, but they were a part of our family and kids growing up together. It's awesome to see the men they've become now, a lot of them. And, you know, some of it's taken them a while, some of them not, but it's an awesome thing to see. And I'm honored to be a part of their lives still.
Mm-hmm. Tina Ladybug says, hey, y'all.
Howdy, howdy.
And Josh said, I told myself I would get married once and only once.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I'm on my second marriage, but unfortunate circumstances. And I always, to this day, think of myself as a lucky man to even have a second chance with the woman I have now, my Pretty. Because you don't get those too many times in life. I was fortunate the first time and very fortunate the second time.
You are blessed. I mean, Mike is my third marriage, and unfortunately, I married my first marriage. I was married to.
Baby did what we're talking about too young, too early, or first marriage?
Well, I really thought my first marriage was going to last forever, but I couldn't. The drinking, it's a big. And everybody hates that word trigger because it's overused now, but for me, it was. I mean, I just couldn't do it. I tried and tried and tried, and it didn't work. And then my second marriage, of course, my ex abandoned my children and I for his choices that sent him to prison. So there's that. And then boom, third time's a charm with my little baby.
Yep.
Pastor Pooch.
Yeah, baby didn't know she's going to be marrying a pastor in her future, did you?
I'm so excited.
And baby almost booted me to the curb too, actually.
I sure did. I told her to leave me alone. And he did. And then I was like, hey, what happened to baby? Linda Peterson says, howdy to you. Sorry, I'm late.
Good evening, ma'am.
And who else? Man,
better late than never.
I am just, well, you get to talking and everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Somebody said, hey, beautiful stickers. Okay, I need to hurry.
Oh, yeah. Those are nice too. And I'm going to put those on the shop fridge for sure.
Freedom Redbird says a lot of people get married for the wrong reasons too, knowing they can get a divorce if it doesn't work. That is true.
That's always, there's folks that have that out and know it.
Exactly.
And so I'm like, why even bother if that's what you're worried about before you even get married?
Good point, Freedom Redbird. Yep. That is true. That really stinks that people would have that mindset. So, well, if it doesn't work, I'll just get a divorce.
That's not what the sanctity of marriage is about.
It's not. Camping Cage Free is here. I'm late, but I'm number 36 on the like button. Sweet.
Thank you. Welcome in. And as I just said, better late than never. Thank you.
I was married at 18 to my husband. That was 31. And we've been married for 42 years. That's Freedom Redbird. That's awesome.
Greatness.
Absolutely. A lot of people talking about different.
And if you folks haven't noticed, I haven't been vaping because I know sometimes they probably be saying
and hearing.
Pooch? Yeah. What's Pooch?
Pulling Pooch over there. Yeah. What's Pooch doing over there?
It's been over a week now since I've vaped, but and I still dip Copenhagen. So I've kind of picked the pace up on that a little bit, but at least I've left the the vape alone. And
Yeah, I'm glad.
still got the urge every now and then, but I think it's more of a habit, just grabbing it. And
Have you tossed them in the trash?
I haven't tossed them in the trash, but I mean,
Let's-
they're all batteries. And so kind of want to hold on to them just in case. I know they're there, but it ain't provoked me to go do nothing yet. So yeah.
Ken is here. He says, hello, I'm late.
Hi, Ken. Hope you're feeling better.
Hat Creek Homestead says, marriage is finding that special person you can annoy for the rest of your life. That's right. And we got him.
Yep.
Stinky butt.
Over here.
Stinky. Oh, man.
And we have fun at it too, though.
We do. It's so fun.
There's always something that we're laughing at each other about, or me trying to make her laugh at something.
Oh, Josh said that his great grandpa passed away 3 days before his 50th wedding anniversary.
Sorry to hear that.
Gary with Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors said, I just got here to the Nut Hut.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Howdy, Gary. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Ken, we're glad that you made it into. It looks like he had some ribs or something.
I hope Ken's surgical procedures doing him well. I saw his picture earlier that he posted with his wrist up and that scar and all, but just hope you're recovering well. Can't miss that truck rodeo.
I saw him this morning. He was live this morning.
Was he?
I just got an alert, a notification, which everybody needs to set your notifications, but that he was live. And so, I mean, I was pulling into the school parking lot before I had to go into class. And I got to say hi to Ken. He was live. He looked great.
Good. Maybe sit out there for a few minutes and listen.
For like 2 minutes. And then I had to go inside. Justin says that we were made for each other.
Yep.
We sure were.
Maybe you get locked out of class and
no. Oh, man. Ken said long cut was his fave.
Oh, yes. Mine too.
Hey, there's Tristan 0795.
There's Sonny.
You guys want to go and check out Tristan 0795. He's got some good content, especially for people if you've got some younger kids or whatnot that like gaming and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. He's pretty funny too.
Yep.
And LaDonna says, well, now that you're Pastor Pooch, it probably wouldn't look good to be vaping.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I hadn't even told Sonny yet about all this. I don't think yet either, have we? Or
no.
Yeah, Sonny doesn't even know.
Here, he may.
Sonny doesn't even know that.
He is here.
Yeah.
Hey, Tristan.
I got something to share you here in a little bit.
Yeah, your stepdad has something to tell you.
Yeah. I am officially ordained.
He is.
In a ministry, Tristan. I've got my certificate and letter of my letter of goodwill.
Sat in his recliner and it's 8:00, babe. It's 8:00. We love you guys. We thank you guys so much. Man, time flies when you're having fun.
We got to cut off quick because I don't want to interrupt MT Homestead, Mike and Terry. But
exactly. You need to go bathe.
No,
so we're going to MT Homestead.
I bathed this morning.
Thanks, guys. We love y'all.
We love you, folks. Thank you all for coming in. Everybody needs a friend named Pooch. They call me Pastor Pooch.
Oh, Lord. And everybody needs a pretty, and I don't know about all this mess. Pastor Pooch. We'll go see y'all at MT Homestead. We love y'all. Thanks for joining in. And don't forget then after MT Homestead is the Vineyard Farmhouse.
That's right. Brian
check
with
him out.
Jeff. Groovy
yes,
eggs.
that's going to be great. Y'all have a good night.
Love
y'all.
You guys. Thank you.
Pastor
Stinky
Pooch.
butt, baby. Stinky.
You stink.
Gut
How about
rip.
Pastor Stink?
Pastor
Pastor
Poop.
stinks. Pastor Poop.